Jordan Anthony. He played football in one of the toughest conferences on the planet. At 21, he became world champion in sprinting, and he did it on the very first trip he had ever taken outside the United States. Jordan Anthony grew up in Tylertown, Mississippi. Football was everything. His family loved the game. From the time he could run routes, he had one goal: the Heisman Trophy. Programs like Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida State, and Mississippi State all offered him scholarships. He looked like a kid built for the NFL. Track was never part of the plan. At Tylertown High School, he ran sprints on the side to become a faster receiver. He never saw a career in it. "I really just did it for giggles and networking, because you meet a lot of new people in track and field," Anthony said years later. He signed with the University of Kentucky in 2022 to play both sports, wanting to be the greatest dual-sport athlete since Bo Jackson. At Kentucky, Anthony suffered an injury that knocked him out for most of his first football season. He transferred to Texas A&M after 1 year, then transferred again to the University of Arkansas, his third SEC program. At Arkansas in 2024, he appeared in 12 games as a receiver, catching 8 passes for 111 yards and a touchdown. The Heisman dream was still alive, just barely. Here is something most fans do not know. An elite wide receiver's job looks like catching footballs, but the real job is controlling explosive speed in short bursts. Every route a receiver runs demands maximum acceleration from a near-standing start, precise hip rotation through cuts, and the ability to reach full speed within 10 yards. That is a sprint, just disguised in shoulder pads. Anthony spotted this connection early. When he first arrived at Kentucky, he told reporters that the football program's conditioning coach was really our track coach. "Everything we do is track-based, from the twitch to the movements." At Arkansas, head track coach Chris Bucknam and assistant Doug Case saw the same thing from the other direction. They saw a football player who had already built the hip flexibility, the drive phase power, and the first step force that most pure track athletes spend years chasing. Wide receivers develop those tools without ever knowing it. Coach Case was careful not to overload him. Anthony did not begin serious track training at Arkansas until December each season, 3 months after his teammates. Football came first. Case chose carefully what to teach and what to leave alone. He did not try to rebuild a working machine. He refined it. Coach Case did a phenomenal job of not pushing certain things, Bucknam said. In a short period of time, Coach Case did a phenomenal job of weaving that all together. It was just masterful. In the summer of 2022, Anthony was 17 and already one of the fastest teenagers on earth. He won the United States Under-20 title in the 200 meters. He qualified for the World Under-20 Championships in Columbia, but the meet fell right at the start of football camp at Kentucky. He stayed. He skipped his first World Championship to report to football practice. By the 2024 to 2025 track season at Arkansas, something had shifted. He skipped spring football in 2025 entirely to train on the track full-time. The results came fast. He ran 6.47 seconds in the 60 meters indoors at the NCAA Championships, barely missing the collegiate record. He won the NCAA 60-meter indoor title. Then at the outdoor NCAA Championships in Eugene, he scraped into the 100-meter final as the very last qualifier by time, and then won the entire race in 10.07 seconds. The next day, he announced his decision on social media. Football was over. He was going pro in track, having already signed with Adidas. "Football was my first love and my family's first love," he said at the Bowerman ceremony 6 months later. "If you would have told me years ago that I would be here one day and recognized as a professional sprinter, I would have laughed in your face and kept moving." He moved to Claremont, Florida, just west of Orlando. His new training base was the same facility used by Olympic champion Noah Lyles. His new coach was Lance Brauman, the man who had built Lyles' entire professional career. Anthony was no longer a college athlete squeezing in sprints between football practices. He was in a professional sprint environment for the first time, living alongside the fastest man on earth. In December of 2025, he won the Bowerman, track and field's version of the Heisman Trophy. Anthony became the first football player in history to win it. recognized for his 2 NCAA titles, his school records, and the speed of his ride. He had spent years chasing the football version of that award. The track version arrived in his debut professional season. When the 2026 indoor season opened, Lyles was honest about what he expected. He would not attend the World Indoor Championships in Poland because they conflicted with his April wedding. He told reporters before the USATF Indoor Championships, "I have no doubt in Jordan. I watched him at the beginning of the year and I was like, well, I'm not going to World Indoors, so I guess he's winning." Anthony then went to Staten Island and beat Lyles in the national final anyway, winning the USATF Indoor title. His path to Poland was clear. The World Athletics Indoor Championships were held in Torun, Poland, on March 20th, 2026. Anthony had never left the United States before. This was his first passport, his first international flight, and his first global championship, all at the same time. Before departure, Lyles gave him one piece of advice: expect the unexpected. He knew from experience that strange things happen at major championships. He was not wrong. On Wednesday before the race, a doping control officer came to draw blood from Anthony's arm. The officer missed the vein. A blood clot formed that Anthony described as the size of a soccer ball. The USATF medical team treated him. When he walked onto the track the next day, black kinesio tape ran the full length of his left forearm. He could not fully straighten the arm or rotate it. He walked out between his qualifying rounds and signed autographs for Polish fans who recognized him. "They paid good money to see me, so why not give that love back to them?" he said. He had no idea that many people in Poland even knew who he was. In the semifinals, Trayvon Bromell, the 2016 World Indoor Champion, ran 6.42 seconds to edge Anthony's 6.43. Bromell looked dangerous. The final would not be straightforward. 8 athletes qualified for the final, every one of them under 6.50 seconds. European standout Jeremiah Azu of Great Britain was in the field. Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, the Paris Olympic silver medalist in the 100 meters, was in the field. Bromell, who had edged Anthony just hours earlier, was ready to go again. 6,000 fans packed the arena. Before the final, Anthony had spoken to Bromell's coach. His plan was simple: follow Bromell out of the blocks and let him set the pace. He did exactly that. Then he passed him. He pulled away in the back half of the race and crossed the line in 6.41 seconds, one of the fastest 60-meter runs in the history of the event. Thompson finished second in 6.45. Bromell was third, also in 6.45, separated from Thompson by 1,000th of a second. Anthony had beaten the entire field by 400ths. After the race, he put his hand over his mouth and waved it up and down rapidly. He explained it afterward. "The celebration was really just telling everybody to shut the F word up. A lot of people thought I was going to come here and wet the bed." Bromell paid him respect. "Looking at Jordan Anthony, I see a mirror image of myself from 10 years ago. I also won the world title as a young, unpolished athlete. Anthony was unpolished, barely a year into professional sprinting, yet running one of the fastest 60 meters in history. 18 months ago, he was catching passes in the SEC. Today, at 21, he is a world champion. The outdoor season brings the 100 meters, a different test. Every elite sprinter he beat in Torun is preparing. Then there is June 16th. The Golden Spike meet in Ostrava, featuring a showdown between Noah Lyles and Gout Gout Will Jordan Anthony appear. Working under Lance Brauman in Claremont, Anthony remains fearless. June 16th is just a month away. The dog is not going back in the cage.